Good to go. Thanks, Dallas. All right, we're going to go ahead and call to order the meeting of the Oakdale City Council, May 28th, 2024. Sarah, will you take the roll?
Councilmember Herr.
Here.
Councilmember Ingebrigtson.
Here.
Councilmember Morcomb.
Here.
Councilmember Willenbring.
Here.
Mayor Zabel.
Here. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First up on our agenda tonight is approving the appointment of a new police officer. Chief Newton, where'd you go? There he is. Do you want to come down and present this item on the agenda?
Yes, thank you, Honorable Mayor, members of the council. Tonight, we are going to be greeting our newest addition to the police department, Caleb Mitchell. Caleb grew up in White Bear Lake and went to the University of Minnesota Crookston and has a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. Caleb is fresh out of college, and this will be his first job in law enforcement, and we're excited to have him on board with our team and get him started with the training process.
Thank you, Chief Newton. Council members, can I get a motion?
I would like to make a motion to appoint Caleb Mitchell as full-time probationary police officer effective May 29th, 2024 at a rate of pay consistent with the city-based pay schedule.
There's a motion. Is there a second? Second. Motion and a second. Any conversation? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And congratulations, Caleb, you're officially hired. I will head down there in just a minute. We'll administer the oath of office. Quick rundown on how we'll do this. We'll take the oath and invite someone to pin you. And then we will have the city council come down. We'll take a photo, invite your family up, take photos, and then the department as well. So why don't you meet me down there, Caleb?
I think I was already here, but
We'll do it there, okay. Follow me, Caleb.
Okay, no, he'll do it here.
Just so they can hear us. All right. All right, Caleb. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Caleb Mitchell, do solemnly swear
I, Caleb Mitchell, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and that I will faithfully, justly, and impartially
that I will faithfully, justly, and impartially
discharge the duties of police officer
discharge the duties of police officer
for the city of Oakdale, Minnesota,
for the city of Oakdale, Minnesota,
to the best of my judgment and ability,
to the best of my judgment and ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Who will be pinning you tonight?
My father will.
Come on up, sir. Let's have your whole family come up for photos.
Come on.
Count of three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
And then we'll have the city council come up. Oh, we're huggers.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Count of three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
And the department.
Yeah, I can stand in front of them. I don't even need a video.
Why?
Could I ask you to condense a little bit more, please? All right, Ken, up one, just a touch more, please. You got it. You got it. Okay. Count of three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Chief and Caleb, I need you to sign the oath real quick. And this is your copy. You can take this with you.
Was it? When was it? The winter.
Oops, I put the wrong date on there, but that's okay. All right.
Oh, I remind me to tell you about when I was with Sean, maybe. Is it the 20th?
It is.
He got about 5 feet. That's funny. Good.
Right. There we are. This one is for you.
Great.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And I will take that one. Thank you. Here you go, Sarah. All right. Alrighty, council members. We still need to approve our agenda. We have a slightly amended version in front of us today. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
Make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Amended, thank you. There's motions, there a second?
Second.
Motion a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the agenda is adopted. Next up, we have approval of the minutes. We have 2 sets of meeting minutes in front of us. First from the workshop, May 14th, 2024. Council members, any changes or corrections? I'll look for motion.
So moved?
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And those workshop meeting minutes are approved. Next up, we have regular meeting minutes from May 14th, 2024. Council members, any changes or corrections? I'll look for motion.
So moved?
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And those minutes are approved as well. Nothing under public hearing tonight, so we'll move into open forum. This is an opportunity for anybody in the audience that would like to join us and share whatever's on their mind. Please feel free to step up to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and proceed with your comments. All right, we'll keep moving into the consensus motions. Council members, in front of us, we have A through E in front of us tonight. Are there any that individual council members would like to pull for consideration? I'll look for motion.
Make a motion to approve consensus motions A through E as presented.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, any comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And A through E are approved as presented. Next up is our opportunity to check in with our advisory boards and commissions. First up was Environmental Management Commission. I could not be there, but I know they had their training with our city staff. So they went through all the good things about Robert's Rules of Order and parliamentary procedure and city structure and all that fun stuff. So a big thank you to them for walking through that. We'll check in on the Planning Commission with Councilmember Ingebrigtson.
Planning Commission just heard a presentation from some consultants regarding a zoning ordinance update, and it was very similar, very similar to what we heard tonight at the workshop.
Thank you, Jake. Parks and Rec, Councilmember Morcomb.
Yeah, we had a light Parks and Rec meeting this time, but the primary focus was the commissioners were all taking assignments on different recreation opportunities over the summer so that they can have more visibility, more connection with the public, which I think was a great idea. And obviously a lot of excitement for Summerfest coming up. just a few weeks.
Wonderful. No meeting for tree board or EDC. Award a bid, nothing tonight, so we'll check in with our staff reports and our city attorney. Rachel is joining us. Welcome, Rachel. Anything for us?
I'm sorry, I don't have anything for you today.
Well, we are glad you could be here. Anybody have any questions for Rachel?
No.
All right, turn to our right, check in with our city administrator. We got one item on there.
Hi, Mayor, City Council. Yes, we do have an item on the, I'd like to do an update, and actually not me, the royal we. Don Tyson, our owner's rep for the Public Works Facility, City of Oakdale owner's rep. He's leading this project on our behalf and coordinating everything. And also here is our architect, HCM, and our construction management firm, which is Cross Anderson. So they're here as well to answer any questions. So I'll leave it to Don.
Thanks, Chris. Evening, Mayor, Council. Pleasure to be here tonight. Exciting night to get this project moving ahead. And as Chris noted, we've got Matt, our architect, and Ken from Cross Anderson here. And do I need to do something, Sarah? Okay. So while Sarah gets the PowerPoint pulled up, we'll just cover tonight some project need, project history for the public. Where's the location of this project? Matt will talk about the design of the project. We'll give you an update on the project budget from the workshop and talk about the schedule and council actions that are coming later this summer. So with that project need, why is this project needed? Well, the Public Works Facility right now was built in 1985, so 39 years. By the time this project's done, it'll be a 40-year-old building. And those divisions of forestry and environment, parks, streets and fleet, utilities, that's where they're housed. So those are the things that the residents rely on when they turn on the water, see the streets plowed. And since that building was built, the population in Oakdale has just about doubled, going from 15,000 to 28,000. And you can see the forecast, as you know, is going to continue to have growth here in the city to over 33,000 people by 2050. Where the site's at now, it's a constrained site. It's surrounded by wetlands or Granada Avenue. And so there really was no ability to expand the building on this site and move there. And also, as you know, the current building does have issues. It's certainly a 40-year-old building, so it's energy inefficient, operationally inefficient. Public Works has certainly changed in the last 40 years. And there are some environmental issues with the shell leaking and some mold that was identified early in the report. So with your leadership back in 2018, certainly you concurred with that and determined that a new facility was needed. In 2020, concept plans were prepared, and in 2021, the legislature approved going to the voters for a local option sales tax to help build this building, and the residents did approve this in 2022. In 2023, you approved bonding for the project and also the agreement with 3M for donating the land after their environmental work was complete, which was completed this past spring, just a couple months ago, and the project plans are completed, which leads us tonight. Things are all teed up to move this project forward. For the public, if they're not aware of where this site's located, it is at 3200 Granada Avenue, about 1,000 feet south of Old Highway 5 or County 14 on Granada. It's a 9.2 acre site that is currently owned by 3M. In the next couple of months, we do expect that land transfer to happen to the city once all the real estate documents are cleaned up, and I know Rachel's team is working on that with the 3M team. As we've talked several times, it is in the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency Brownfield program, and this is actually a great program for reusing sites like this. There's several brownfield projects across the Twin Cities, Surly Brewing, several residential places where those sites are redeveloped after they're cleaned up. As we've been talking, once the site is cleaned up, which it has been, 3M is going to be donating the land to the city. Just a quick overview of what the project looks like from above, and maybe I can use the arrow. This is Granada Avenue. This is 32nd Street. This is the building here with the front being the office, the center being where the fleet is stored, and the back here is the operations, forestry, mechanics, all the things that are happening, utilities group in that group there. Public parking in the front for people that need to do business with the Public Works, but also I want to point out that the public will have a brush drop-off site in the back of the property along 32nd, and So that's going to be a great amenity to have for the public. With that, tonight we'll let the architect walk through the drawings versus the engineer, because he'll probably do a better job of explaining it. So I'll turn it over to Matt.
Thanks, Don. Mr. Mayor, Council, appreciate being here. So this image that Don has pulled up, this is from the northeast looking southwest. So the blue and gray pieces that you're seeing most in the foreground are the office, locker rooms, conference rooms, training rooms, and all of those pieces that the staff would utilize. This is employee parking. One of the key features that we've kept throughout the project is that staff vehicles are separate from city-owned vehicles for safety reasons, so they've got a dedicated parking lot. Similarly, the public has a separate entry, exit, and parking lot too. Just helps with liability, helps with safety, and coming and going. Also helps with wear and tear on the large gates that are part of the controlled portion of the yard. So let's see, arrows maybe? Thank you. This image is looking more at the shop side, so you've got 32nd. The brush drop is in the bottom right-hand corner. You have the main vehicle entry gate, road salt storage, material bins, stuff like that off against the adjacent TV property. You've got a fuel island with an above-ground fuel tank in the background there. And the larger gray portion of the building that you're looking at, that's the fleet maintenance. So all the plow trucks are maintained there, large and small vehicles, as well as shop space for forestry and parks. We have the site is secured with a fence around its perimeter, and we actually are not showing as much landscaping as there is, just because you want to, for the image, we want to be able to look in. But I should mention that the project is meeting all of the city required zoning ordinance for trees and shrubs. So it's following all the same rules that a private sector development would have to follow. As well as Don mentioned, the existing property is constrained and actually has some runoff toward the wetlands that's difficult to control. This site's all being managed with underground stormwater on site that's managing the stormwater and rate control before it goes out to the adjacent wetlands. This is the public entrance off of Granada, so you're seeing the public parking, the public entry. That takes them into a lobby, so there are buckthorn pullers that citizens can check out from the city. Contractors can come in and pick up water meters if they're doing work. Contractors can also buy water to fill their large like pump trucks that they use. There's a small conference room, or kind of a medium-sized conference room on that public side, a restroom, but it's all also secured so that the employee and office side is secured from the public side. There's a door, of course, but there's a separation there. This is just another view from 32nd with the office break room, locker room piece to the left. That fleet storage with some deliveries, say if the parts person comes with parts for fleet maintenance, they're repairing a vehicle. The white portion is the indoor vehicle and equipment storage, designed to just keep all the hydraulics, all the plow trucks, those types of things out of the elements, which today they struggle to meet. This is the site side of the building. So the private yard, we went through a lot of efforts to make sure that the building scale would step up from the residential, so it's lower toward the residential on Granada, and the taller portions of the building toward the back. Also using the building to screen the yard from Granada and 32nd. Public entry and a view into that medium-sized conference room and the reception desk in that public lobby. And then as we move into the office area, most of the office area is open office with touch-down desks so that staff could do a time card, check benefits, what have you. But we also have a couple of just touchdown meeting spaces with some soft seating for quick meetings. In the middle, a little hard to point out, but the one that's kind of in the middle of the screen there on the bottom, that's inside the director's office, so Public Works Director, and then a view of that hallway that's in the office area. Last slide for me, we've got a large dividable training room, so it can act as a training room, a large conference room, a muster room, but it can also be open. The bottom left is a view from the lunchroom into that, so you can have an all-hands meeting. So we're trying to have as much flexibility as possible without wasting space. If you have all of these spaces that are dedicated, they don't get utilized very much. In the upper right, we've got the break room area, microwaves, refrigerators, and what have you for staff, and a small outdoor space that's kind of the transition between employee parking and inside.
All right, thanks, Matt. I did, with my fast fingers, skip over a slide. I wanted to touch on it. Oh, let's see, there it is, okay. What I wanted to give is the council a context of what is the size of the new building compared to the existing building. And the dark gray there is the existing Public Works building. And the big overall blue is the proposed building. So you can see it is significantly bigger than the existing building. And this also doesn't take into account that the new building is going to have 2 stories in the office area. And it also doesn't include, when we talked in workshop about adding on to the fleet storage, it doesn't include that additional potential 22 feet. So just for context, when we talk about what do you have now versus what's going to be there at the end, I thought this would be a good visual to show you. So sorry I flipped through that before Matt's work here. So getting to the numbers, and these numbers have not changed from our last the workshop we had on the 14th. To recap the project history, there's really been 3 reasons why the cost has increased slightly since the concept design. The first is just simple inflation. Second, as you can see from the numbers there in the building square footage, there is an increase of about 5,000 square feet of footage. The reason I have a squiggle in there, because depending on what alternates are taking, that numbers could shift a little bit. And then finally, there was work added as we worked with 3M on that we're going to have to do, and that's going to be reimbursed by 3M. The big one being the vapor barrier system that'll be installed underneath the building. So that project cost is included here, but once again, it'll be a revenue source from 3M to pay for that. The detail on those costs, you can see the breakout there. The one thing I want to point out on this slide is from the workshop is the project alternates line at the very bottom of $1,066,000. That's the budget that'll be available to the council for alternate consideration with the adding of $2 million in revenue, which we'll show on the revenue slide. Otherwise, the other numbers there are exactly what we talked about in the workshop there. And what are the project alternates? As we talked in a couple weeks ago, the primary ones are to construct the fuel island, add 22 feet to the fleet storage area, which is essentially 2 bays for trucks, and then add shop mezzanine. And I should probably better say is restore shop mezzanine, because we did take out a couple thousand square feet to value engineering, so it'd be restore that. There's also some secondary alternates that we're going to get prices on, and these aren't critical to the operations as those top 3 are. Adding a second single hoop salt storage area, using precast black aggregate, and that's an aesthetic issue. Same thing with the precast paint. And then also we're going to get a price of increasing the roof membrane thickness, and what comes with that is a longer warranty period. And we'll be able to evaluate that. Is it worth paying a little bit extra for a little bit thicker roof with a longer warranty? But we're going to get a price on that. That's a very easy thing to bid as an alternate. So revenue, these are the same figures as before, except for that last line. From the workshop discussion, we're showing an additional city revenue of $2 million. At this point, I understand it's likely to be bonding, but if there's other revenue sources that come in for that, that's why it's just identified. I also wanted to call it out so you can see from the workshop how that was added in. So once that revenue is added in, that $2 million and those alternates, the revenues and expenses balance perfectly, moving the project forward. Schedule-wise, well, we're here tonight to get your approval to go to bid. And with your approval, Kraus Anderson and the city, working with Sarah, is ready to advertise this project tomorrow, and it'll hit the streets. We have a bid opening scheduled for June 20th at 2 in the afternoon. These days, those bid openings are not like the old ones, are ripping envelopes and reading the numbers, and everybody's in suspense. It's basically all electronic, and the numbers come out right away. But there'll still be some suspense, Chris. So we'll know initially where the numbers are at that afternoon, but it then does take time. Kraus Anderson needs to evaluate those bids, make sure the contractors covered everything, and the bids are good bids. That takes probably, that's in a 5 to 6 week time frame to get all that work done. They'll then be coming back to you with a recommendation for awarding of the bids. Should back up a second. There's going to be about 30 different divisions bid. It isn't just one bid. So there'll be an earthwork contractor, a painting contractor, a carpet contractor, sheetrock, mechanical, electrical. So all those different divisions are come together and are analyzed by Kraus Anderson. So when they come back to you tentatively in July 23rd, they'll be giving the city a guaranteed maximum price on the project based on all those bids. And then also recommendations we'll have on the alternates, which alternates to take or not take, and make that award. There'll be a couple other administrative things to take care of. The contracts will be assigned to Kraus Anderson to manage. And those are things that once again, we work with the city legal team on. But that July 23rd date is the date the project's approved. You're gonna know the maximum number for the project. And then after that, Kraus will continue their work and get the contractors teed up to get out there as soon as possible. That most likely is gonna be October by the time they mobilize. And we're planning on a 12-month construction schedule. So October of 2025 would be the opening. And I guess going through that schedule, that to kind of cover the future council actions I had in the agenda, but certainly glad to take questions, but appreciate your leadership and helping this project get to where it's at. It wouldn't be, I know from experience, it starts with the councils, and if you don't have a council supporting a project, nothing happens, so thank you.
Council members, any questions for Don? Councilmember Morcomb.
Yeah, just real quick, I know currently our Public Works, because of the growth of the city, is having to store a lot of their equipment outdoors, which takes a toll. It's expensive to maintain. So this new Public Works, just to confirm for the public, is this bringing things indoors by and large?
Yeah, Mayor, council member, yes.
Yep.
Yes. And you can see from that graphic where the building's getting bigger, the fleet storage is definitely a big part of that. And with your support on that, adding 22 feet to the fleet storage space as an alternate, that'll also make be a big help for the staff.
Perfect, thank you.
Any other questions for Don? All right, we have an action in front of us.
I'll make a motion to authorize the advertisement for and collection of bids for City Project B 2024-01, construction of new Public Works facility.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second?
Motion and a second. Any final comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And let's get this project out to bid.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is council presentations. Let's start on my left. Susie or Noah, any council?
No presentation.
All right, how about over here? Oh, I'm sorry, Chris, did you have anything else under admin topics?
Thank you, but no.
Okay.
I'm good. Thank you. That was happy, that was good.
We just gave you $31 million. That's all you got.
I'm gonna shut up now.
Jake and Andy? No? Okay. I have a few. It is hard to believe, but our first Oakdale Farmers Market of the season will be held Wednesday, June 5th from 2 to 6 p.m. in the City Hall parking lot. This is a great opportunity to pick up a variety of fresh fruits and vegetables, flowers, baked goods, and more. So please stop on out and join us. It is always a very fun time. I think it's almost every Wednesday throughout the summer. There's a few exceptions in there because of holidays, but pop on out, City Hall parking lot. Have you noticed properties around town with outstanding landscapes and gardens? Nominate them for an Oakdale Acorn Award. Categories include residential, business, commercial, and public properties. Complete a simple online nomination form on the city website by oakdalemn.gov by June 30th. The city is offering discounted home energy squad visits to a limited number of Oakdale residents that are CenterPoint Energy and Xcel Energy customers. Home Energy Squad offers 2 types of visits, the Energy Saver visit for newer homes and the Energy Planner visit for older homes. Thanks to the city discount, the Energy Saver visit is only $35 and the Energy Planner visit is only $50. Free visits are also available to income-qualified households. For more information, please visit the city website, oakdalemn.gov. It is hard to believe that Oakdale Summerfest is just 1 month away, so please mark your calendars for June 24th through the 29th and check out the full schedule of events for this year, including a new lineup of activities for families and kids. You can find the full schedule at oakdalesummerfest.com. Finally, on behalf of the City Council and the City of Oakdale, I just want to say a very big congratulations to all of our graduating seniors at Tartan and North. They will be walking in commencement next week. Yep. So a big congratulations to them. You know, as I mentioned at our workshop, if we think about these seniors, you know, they started their high school careers in the early year of COVID in 2020. So they have certainly been through a lot through their high school careers. But they have persevered and they are now going to be graduating and going to be off to do wonderful things throughout their lives. So congratulations, graduates. Claims roster. We have a claims roster in front of us, May 15th through the May 28th, in the amount of $834,000 and change. Council members, are there any claims you wanted to flag or remove for consideration? I'll look for a motion.
Make a motion to approve claims as presented.
There's a motion. Is there a second? Second. Motion and a second. Final comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the bills are paid. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you and good night.